Hi, I'm Shonda Miles. I want to talk to you about thinking, the hardest job we have. The people don't do it. People just don't spend time thinking because it's hard work, you know. You'll be exhausted if you spend time every day just really thinking about things that are important. And so I think it's important that we think, like we reflect on the day, you know, what happened, what did I learn, what can I improve, how can I grow, what went well. And so if you're having trouble with believing in yourself, you can keep an accomplishment jar or a brag book. And all a brag book is your accomplishment. As you're achieving things, you're putting them in your accomplishment book. Your brag book, so that when you're down, when you want to give up, you can go to your brag book and you got all these things that you've done. You can see how great you really are. So I believe in having a brag book. It is so important that we believe in ourselves, because if we don't believe in ourselves, we won't take the action. So what are you thinking about? If we need to, on a regular basis, have a journal, and we're tracking our thoughts, you know, so are our dominant thoughts mostly positive, or are our dominant thoughts mostly negative? So what do you think most about? Is it mostly negative? Is it mostly worry? Or is it mostly positive? Are you optimistic about the future? You believe great things are going to happen. So we need to spend time thinking about what we're thinking about. And I believe we don't do that enough. We our lives are not going the way we want them to go. As a matter of fact, if we look at our lives, we've been doing the same thing for 10 years and we haven't made any changes, but we're upset and frustrated because things haven't changed. And so we got to look at our thoughts, because we should be thinking about where we want to be. We should be thinking about our goals. We should be thinking about what we're working towards, and not thinking about the past, because we can't do anything about the past. We should be thinking about how we can grow. How can we be better? You know, what do I need to change? What do I need to do? You know, maybe it's one little thing at a time. You work on one little thing at a time, and then you master that, and then you go to the next thing. But we need to be thinking about what we're thinking about. And if we're not getting what we want, the first place we need to start is our thinking. We need to see, what are we thinking? Do we not believe in ourselves? So I've had this big goal for some time, and for a while I wasn't making any traction. And so when I look at my actions, my thinking, so my thinking indicates, if I'm thinking that I'm not going to be successful, I'm not going to take any action, right? If I'm thinking to myself, there's no way this is going to work, I haven't accomplished this goal, it's not going to happen this year. If I keep thinking that, I'm not going to take any action. I'm just not. It will be work. It wouldn't make any sense, because I believe, if I believe in my heart that this thing is not going to work, I'm not going to reach my goal, I'm not going to take any action. Every single day, I'm not going to do it. I might want to do it, but I'm not going to do it. So we got to be thinking about, okay, am I thinking about I'm going to fail? Am I thinking about this not going to work? Or am I believing that I can do this? Am I believing that God is going to work this out? Am I believing that if I take these steps of faith, you know, I'm taking the steps, and then I leave the rest of it to God. But am I doing that? Most of us are not taking the steps. We don't believe in ourselves. We're thinking negative thoughts. We're thinking wrong thoughts. We're thinking that we're going to fail. We're thinking that it's not going to work. We're thinking because it didn't work before, it's not going to work now. But it just might work now. We don't know. And if it doesn't work now, we got to look at, how did my thinking contribute to it? Did I take enough action? Because sometimes we don't think about, it take a lot for us to really see major change in our life. We got to do a lot of things differently. You know, we got to, every single day there should be changes in our life to see the difference. And so a lot of times we don't do that. We don't take enough action. We don't think about what we're thinking about, and we should be thinking about what we're thinking about. You know, we think about, you know, we want to be thinking about our goals. We want to be thinking about, how can I help somebody else? Not just about us, but how can we help somebody else? How can I, you know, give advice to somebody else, tell somebody else my story? How can I share with somebody else? And so, you know, we got to think about what we're thinking about. And that's every single day we should be thinking about, you know, what we're thinking about. And we should be thinking about, at the end of the day, you know, what did I learn today? What lessons did I learn? And I started some time back, probably a year now, writing in a journal every single day. At the end of the day, I'm looking at, what did I learn? What lessons did I learn? And not just, I had no intentions of teaching these lessons when I first started. I started doing it because it helped me. I needed to know for myself. I was having all I was learning all these lessons, and I wanted a way to capture it. So I started journaling. I didn't have any idea. I didn't plan on sharing it, because it was just to help me. But I realized that if it helped me, it probably helped somebody else too. So I started writing down these things. But I think it's a good idea to journal our thoughts. You will not know what you're really thinking until you put it on paper and you start to see patterns. When I'm around this person, I think this. When I'm watching this on TV, I think this. But you're not going to know until you track your thoughts. So track your thoughts and see, what are you really thinking about?